serving, maybe two. Talking Bulls basketball is what we do. Get your garlic bread and your dish of the week on spaghetti and meatballs. Oh yeah, spaghetti and meatballs. Don't forget the parmesan cheese.
All right. Welcome back to another episode of Spaghetti and Meatballs. We are here to talk about your favorite team. And man, what a week have we got coming up. Your hosts, Trevin and John. What do you say there, big guy?
Hey, we're back. We're back in the studio. You know, I just want to apologize for the Friday episode. We're a couple days behind. We had some work I had some work obligations, and you rolled with the punches. You're a true professional.
Hey, all good, man. No worries. No worries at all.
We talked a lot. We had it was just they took us on an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah. Well, the team did, and the support on the channel.
Yeah, guys,
over the past week.
We just want to give it up to our fans,
let's just throw it out there right away, man.
Yeah, for sure.
That was unexpected and very much appreciated.
Yes, we had an emotional high from that.
Yes.
We just pound, just like, you know, girl on prom night, just pound the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, we're living high. We have a late game with the Brooklyn Nets, the 2 seed. And we just...
Yeah, kind of laid an egg there. We were all amped up for that one on Wednesday.
But as we kind of talked in pregame, kind of a perfect letdown spot. After a big win, we got the Warriors coming in tonight, 1 seed versus 1 seed, East versus West. Hey, these things happen.
Yeah. And also, like we talked about, I mean, through the first half for sure and halfway through the third quarter, it was a close game. You know, it was within reach, and things got a little out of hand there.
Can I ask you, what were your guys on the, I know you got some guys on the PR side of things. What the frick with a 9 o'clock start?
Wow, that was rough. I barely made it through half. Yeah, I know. I couldn't believe it.
I mean, come on.
Do the old double take.
Yeah, like what?
Huh?
Yeah, exactly. So all right.
I'll be honest too. If I'm just gonna say it, I was not a fan of the broadcast duo either.
That sucked. Yeah.
Wow.
I liked it better when we had freaking Robbie Hummel doing that, and he was like didn't even know what was going on.
Yeah. So, yeah. Right.
So we got that out of the way. Let's dive into the show. We always like to kick it off to our fans. What do you got? You got any shout outs?
I do. I have one shout out to our guy. Let's see. He's on Twitter.
Oh.
Where's he at? Oh, shout out to Upper Deck 40.
Yes.
All right. I don't know who you are, but man, whoever you are, keep doing it. It's dynamite. It's dynamite.
And I know it feels like this is like repetitive, but I believe Upper Deck 40 is the one kind of going head to head with Knicks Fan 69.
Oh, wow. It all ties together.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Well,
Upper Deck 40.
And in terms of that, you know who's back we've got in that one.
Oh, come on.
I shouldn't even need to say it.
Yes, come on. I mean, if you guys have checked out the merch store, you know we are not a fan of Knicks Fan 69.
No, not in the least.
So, okay. My shout out is the other day, and a little story. It's not going to take long. Little story. My wife's like, hey, I have some neighbors down the street, good people, great friends, great neighbors. JC Thumb and his wife, Mo, and her younger brother, Mike. My wife's like, hey, Mike wants to know where he can find the show. Uncle Mike is how he's just known throughout the neighborhood. Uncle Mike.
Sure.
And I'm like, all right. So I was gonna send him a little message and say, hey, it's on Facebook, it's on Twitter. But guys, should we drop it now to him? The news?
We might as well.
Guys, you can now find us on Apple Podcasts, Spaghetti and Meatballs. Search us up. Today's episode will be on it. So Uncle Mike, you can find us on our Facebook. You can find us on our Twitter. You can find us on our Instagram. But most importantly, you can find us on Apple Podcasts. Spaghetti and Meatballs on Apple Podcasts.
Yes, that is some exciting news.
Yeah.
And hey, kudos to you.
We're team effort.
Team effort, but you put the final piece in.
Well, you sent me the file, and you
got the final piece of the puzzle in there, and
we got it.
It's exciting.
We want more people to enjoy the content. Now we got the shout outs. As always, people have been blowing up the text line, sending us inbox DMs on the Twitter. What do you got from I know you just said you're on Twitter because I got one here that I screenshotted, but go ahead if you got one.
Okay, so this is actually I think we've started a little bit of a revolution here in terms of podcasts for your favorite team, mixing in with a food theme, because I was doing some perusing on the internet and I found a Brooklyn Nets podcast. Okay.
All right. I'm getting hot already.
The name of it, Peanuts, Butter, and Jelly.
Are you kidding me?
Peanuts, Butter, and Jelly. I'm not kidding you. And they took a shot straight at us on their most recent episode.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Listen to this.
Okay.
Talk about a beatdown. Just had to remind the Bulls and their Meat Bull fans who the top dog in the East is. We shoved that plate of spaghetti right in their face. Title goes through Brooklyn.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Then they shot at us on Twitter, just said, sprinkle that.
That's rich.
So I don't know. It's got the
well, you know what they can do? Suck a peanuts. So I'm just,
boom. Eat
another
that.
one of these internet tough guys, and of course, coming from NYC, Nickman 69, peanut butter and jelly.
I thought the same thing. Hey, we'll take on the whole state. We're not scared.
They jump on our bandwagon.
Yep. Yes.
Feel our kind of theme.
Insult us on the air and then come at us on Twitter. So,
well, okay. I got one for you because here's how it works. We split the Twitter account. So who's ever just like in the mood gets on and tweets. And sometimes I read the DMs. Sometimes Trevin doesn't see them. I know you didn't see this one because you would have texted me. So this one's like to you, but okay. Let's try to just keep everything like open mind here. I don't know if this is a man or a woman.
Okay. Am I going to get upset here?
No, you're not.
Okay.
It's just the handle is at bringing_heat, bringing the heat. And finally, we get some complimentary. It says, guys, love the show. Great insight. And here's the part for you. And Trevin, I would hose you down in patchouli, roll you in cinnamon sugar, and eat you from head to toe. Keep it up if you can.
Wow, I don't know what to say. Wow, I'm flattered.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't. Yeah. He's married, people.
Yeah, right. I mean, I appreciate it. I'm flattered, but taken.
At least we're finally getting some love after just getting bashed.
Yeah, you got to appreciate that.
So thanks. Keep it coming with the DMs. We love it.
All right. Yeah, I must have missed that one somehow.
Yeah, you must have. I saw that before you did. So we had another injury news. But I saw good news. We texted your doctor buddy on the inside about the Derrick Jones injury, and he was like, better than it looked. Only 2 to 4 weeks now. What else you got?
Yeah, no, I got the same news, and I'm glad that you guys.
I don't want to steal your source.
No, and I don't. But I've been working with them for a while, and I said, hey, me and John, we got this podcast going. He needs to know some stuff too. So
yeah.
But yeah, 2 to 4 weeks. So that's better than the 4 to 6 weeks.
Much better than 4.
Because it did not look pretty.
No. And he's been so versatile. Like he was. I didn't know much about Derrick Jones Jr., but like he was like starting shooting threes, and I'm like, oh god, what is this?
You knew he could dunk.
Yeah, we knew he could dunk. Versatile defender.
Yeah.
Can stretch the floor though.
Yeah, and I think it just highlights again the same problem we've been talking about all year long with the depth in the with the bigs. So
Well, I guess that brings us to a topic that we've kind of, talked around a little bit. Are the Bulls going to have to make a trade? And two-part question for you. I've been seeing a lot about Jeremy Grant from the Pistons.
yeah, I've got the little note written down here myself.
What do you give it to me? What do you got?
Well, nothing other than that. Just that he has been specifically tied to the Bulls, and I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if he's the missing piece or not. How do you feel about it?
Well, from what I've heard, he can score, but we don't need a ton of scoring. We need a defensive presence, big man. And the second part to that is, what are we going to have to give up? We don't have a first round pick, so they're wanting roster talent.
Right. Yeah, and that's so on that I've heard that it could be Patrick Williams and possibly more, maybe a Derek Jones Jr.
I'm out.
So
I'm telling you right now, I'm not AK. I'm not Mark Eversley. But I'm not trading Patrick Williams.
Me neither. Well, and it's weird because I had just heard a couple days ago from some of the guys in the building that Kobe White was more obtainable for another team than Patrick Williams was. And then this report came out that, the Pistons would be wanting Patrick Williams back. And I don't, because that's kind of my thing with him too, is you can look up his stats and you watch him play, and he's averaging 20 points a game, and that's great, but I don't know if that's what we need. I didn't know how much of a defensive presence he was.
Well, here's my thing is, like, to me, there's probably 3 to 4 guys that are off limits. And just hear me out on this. I don't want anybody traded. I love this team as is.
Yeah.
But to me, it's Zach, Patrick Williams, Kobe. And I'm not saying that I want Vooch or DeMar traded. I'm just saying those 3 are like end of conversation.
Yeah, right. Like, you'd have to be getting a lot back if you're giving one of those guys up. I agree with that.
So
and that's why I think in such a tough position, with what to do with the team in terms of making a trade or not, because the balance, is what you'd be giving up in. Most likely you're going to be giving up one of those guys, and I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. So I'm curious to see what other names pop up here in the next couple of weeks, because we're really only 3 weeks away, less than 4 weeks away from the trade deadline. So
now I know that the Pacers are kind of like in sell mode.
Yeah.
Sabonis would cost us a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's at least a name where I would start considering it. But even then, the way Kobe's been playing has just been. If
we go back to our earlier conversations, how would he work with Io when he came back from the injury? And Io was these two can play together.
Yeah. Actually, there's another little mini shout out to my dad. He texted me, I forget after what game it was, but he says when he watches those two, he sees like the future of the Bulls between Io and Kobe, that they're some valuable assets. So,
and I know we always get into our gambling later for our sprinkle, our parmesan sprinkle, but what are Io's numbers? I don't know if you've looked at this for Rookie of the Year.
I don't know. That's a good question.
We'll ask later because we got something coming up later that we want to tune people in for. So I have also my notes as we're talking here. This is at the Mavs game. A dish of the week.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, there's some commotion going on in my house. I don't know if listeners are going to be able to hear it or not. So
no problem.
Okay.
I love it. This is the Mavs game that we lost. Tough loss. The Mavs were shooting lights.
Yeah, I was worried about that game. Last week I had said I'm a little leery about that.
And I put the money line, if you remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Third quarter, Lonzo Ball gets a steal. Had a layup, and not an uncontested layup, but he does a drop pass between his legs to Zach for an easy lay-in. So that's my dish of the week. If you have something else,
I love it. I love the old drop back.
Yo, it was nice.
That one's good for me. I like it. I actually had I'm stuffed stuff of the week.
Give it to me.
Against the Nets, your boy Tony Bradley. Let's see, when earlier start of the second quarter, there was an offensive rebound and took it right off the backboard and said, I don't think so. So
you know what I will say about Tony Bradley is like he's kind of sometimes like a bull in a china shop down there.
Yeah.
And not a lot of touch, not a lot of finesse.
Yeah.
But he'll get some boards and he'll throw down some dunks. Like he is what he is.
Yeah, exactly. For the role that they've been playing him in, he's been exactly what they need there.
It feels like we're kind of bouncing all over the place, but have you heard anything about Javante lately? Like, is he?
No, I mean, still, let's see, what was that now? 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, and that was a similar 2 to 4.
Yeah, so he's at the front end of that timetable. So
now I know they said AC was in the building. He's out tonight.
Yeah,
but he's in the building.
Yeah, I saw your buddy KC tweeted out that maybe not until next Wednesday. He might not be back until next Wednesday against the Cavs. So, because after his foot injury and COVID, he's gonna.
And can I give you a funny little KC insight here?
I would love it.
During the Mavs game, and lately they've been doing it. They kind of do a little like inside look with like KC, and he was at his house doing it. So I text him on air.
You would.
I go, nice shirt, meatloaf, and he gives a little smirk down to like his phone, and I knew that was like he's reading our text. So like.
Oh, that was good. You know, when I saw that look, and I was wondering what it was about. So,
he almost couldn't hold it together. So
that explains it.
Yeah, that explains it.
Oh, man, what a character.
But again, and this just feels like it's just, Groundhog's Day. Bill Murray here.
Yeah.
When are we going to see this lineup fully healthy together?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, we've talked about it. Everyone's gone through the safety and protocols at this point. So, hopefully AC comes back and his foot is nice and healthy. And, then they can get, let's see. I mean, it'd still be two months before the playoffs start,
Yeah.
Well, not, of course, Derek Jones Jr. is out. So I guess that's another possible.
But Patrick Williams could be back within the next 5-6 weeks.
Yeah, cast is off.
Yeah, he was shooting free throws.
Yeah, that was exciting to see.
So my big takeaways here is I'm that's me flushing the toilet on the Nets game.
Put it down. Yeah, exactly. Who cares?
I'm not worried about it.
No.
Same thing with the Mavs. Like we weren't going to win every game. We were 9 in a row. You had to lose sometime, and then you were shooting a light. I honestly, and you and I talked about, I hate that fat bastard Luka. I can't stand his chubby.
Yeah.
Like
that reminded me of one of the sponsors on Twitter. So
yeah,
we appreciate that one. But I don't know. He gets any call that he wants. He starts chirping, and the next thing you know, every call he's getting every single call and.
And he's just like rolling around through the lane and like, it's like he's in slow motion. Like, I hate him.
I don't know. I'm indifferent.
You got a hot mom, we get it, but like, right? I mean,
get over it.
Get over yourself.
Get over it. Jeez.
So, like I said, I'm flushing those two. I know it's the Pistons, but I did think we looked really good. There was some great ball movement in that game. There was that one possession when I was texting you. It was like. Into Vooch, kicked back out, swung around. Like,
oh yeah, it was. Yeah, that was. I forget. I didn't write it down, but there was a stat, and that was one of the games where, when they have over 30 assists, they're like 10-0 or something like that. So, when they get that ball moving around and sharing the ball and everyone's on, whew, baby,
Look out.
look out. Yep. Look out.
So we had those games. We got a big game tonight.
Game tonight. Yeah.
Game of the year tonight.
Yeah. It's definitely, well, Clay's not playing, so
yeah, but still.
Yeah. Still, I mean, hey, they handled us pretty good out in Golden State.
Right.
Back in November. So yeah.
And then so we have to. But what I like about us matching up with Golden State is that Lonzo gives opposing point guards, especially smaller ones like Steph, fits. I'm not saying you can contain Steph. I'm not saying that.
Right. Yeah.
You get a 6'5" Lonzo, and then you bring in Io just bodying you up. It takes a toll on you. And get him back.
Well, and that's a good point too. Io wasn't getting the minutes and playing as he is back then in their first meeting, and if I remember right, in that first game, Steph did not have a good first half.
No, and it wasn't a great game.
No, but I feel like he went off a little bit in the second half, but he had a rough first half, and a lot of that was because of the pressure that Lonzo was putting on him. And then, like you said, you bring Io in to pick up on that, and yeah, I think Steph might be in for a rough night here.
Yeah, and then I think Draymond's a very good defender. But who are you putting him on? Because either Zach or DeMar is going to abuse Steph.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting because, with no Derrick Jones Jr. and McKinney, is he probably going to get the start at the 4 position today?
It's going to be interesting. That position has been just a merry-go-round here.
I know, and I was listening to Billy talked the other day and how he was saying how he doesn't have a lot of experience at the 4, but really at this point,
who does?
Yeah, well, yeah. Who else are you going to go to?
What are you going to go with?
Yeah, so
I don't know. Do you think they'd ever go with like a small lineup of like Lonzo, Zach, DeMar, and like a Troy Brown with Vooch out there, or?
I mean, maybe. I like the way that he's been playing lately.
Big Troy Brown Jr.
Yeah. Did he have 6 steals the other night in that one game?
And just do the things we need you to. We don't need anybody scoring other than, our big 3.
Right.
Lonzo gets his.
Yeah.
Get your steal, your defensive transition buckets. But man.
Yeah, the way that they've all bought into that whole philosophy of just you do your part. And the rest will take care of itself. And because I like the way that he's been playing, and I mean, he's all over him out there. So we need AC back to fully lock down on the defensive end. It's just
and going back, I know we said we were going to flush this game, but going back to also that Brooklyn game. We keep talking about we're down AC, we're down Javonte. Those are 2 of our better defenders.
Yeah, right. Those 2 would make a big difference in that game.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I'm not too worried about it, but just amped about tonight.
Yeah. It's a big week coming up. We got the Warriors tonight and
Boston tomorrow.
Yeah, Boston tomorrow, and then Memphis on Monday, and
the Bucks a week from today.
Well. Yeah, and Cavs on Wednesday, who are a lot better than most people would have expected.
Yeah, they beat us a couple weeks
Friday. So
yeah. So it's going to
be a challenging 10 days.
Well, what do you think here? So we got Golden State, Boston, Memphis, Cleveland, Milwaukee. We got 5 games in a week. What would you be happy at coming out of that?
3-2.
Okay, I'm with you, 100%.
Yeah. I'd be happy with 3-2 with those games over the next week. The way Memphis is playing, that's going to be
that Ja Morant block was unreal.
Wow! Talk about I'm stuffed.
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
that was good.
That was real good. All right, so here we go. You ready for a little sprinkle
it on?
All right, so guys, here's the deal. We've been getting some views. We got a sponsor we got a couple sponsors, but we got one that's going to jump on with us here in a minute. It's local guy. Many of you know him. You love him. Some of them from our fantasy league. It's Jesse Kavanagh. He's here to talk about Bar Stars. It's a Twitter handle that he has. He's also here going to promote a little bit about Wager Hub, a site you can go to with him, place some bets, instant payouts. So he's going to give us his insight on the sprinkle this week. But I think what's interesting about Wager Hub, he's going to give a free play out here.
Oh, stay tuned for that.
Yeah, stay tuned.
Yeah, we are excited about this new partnership here.
Partnership we got.
Yep.
So what's going to happen is he's going to jump on occasionally on the sprinkle with us, give a little insight on the betting world, maybe confirm what Trevin and I think, maybe not. But we'll wait for him to jump on. He should be on here any minute. But I believe tonight's line, it was this morning, Bulls by 3.
Yeah, I saw 3.5.
Oh.
So let's get a live update here.
Yeah. What do you got?
There was a couple others on there in tonight's game I was looking at. Oh, it is -3.
Okay, so it went down a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, so it is
and under is 225.
Ooh. Okay. All right, here we go. Maybe we can get a little insight here, because all right, not a great start for Kavanagh over here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. What are you in a closet?
No.
You can't turn your camera on, you creep.
Yeah, we can hear you, but it's just a blank screen.
Oh, hold on.
Oh my God! Guaranteed no pants right now.
Testing.
All right. While you're trying to figure it out, we just touched on for our sprinkle here is it's tonight. Bulls Warriors. Bulls given 3. It was 3.5, so the line's gone down. What do you think? Where's the action at?
Well, the action's actually moving the wrong way. I see today we've had Gary Payton's out, Draymond Green's out, Klay Thompson's out. All this news came today, and the line's actually going from 3.5 to 3. It looks like
Makes no sense to me.
They're looking for more Bulls money. And look, I've been a part of a million of these. You see all these guys out, and it's too easy. We're going to hammer the Bulls, right? What happens? The Warriors hammer them. The books are they're just got money coming in everywhere. So
all right,
this sets up to me to be a huge trap game. All the money, everybody's going to be piling on the Bulls, and it just seems too easy. It looks like a Warriors play to me.
All right, well,
some good insight there.
I think the MeatBULLS are going to have to disagree with you here.
Hey, a little crossfire action never hurt anybody.
No, that's good. Good
stuff. On here for. So I think the MeatBULLS. Trevor, what do you think? We take the money line, or we take the 3? Get Bulls given 3.
Oh, we take the 3.
Yeah, we're not afraid.
No, not one bit.
So Jesse over at Bar Stars and Wager Hub 888 is going to take. Jesse, what are you taking? You taking the points? Or you taking the money?
What? To be honest, I would not bet money on this game.
Okay,
for the show, I will take the points with the Warriors, even though this is it makes absolutely no sense. The third game in 4 nights on a road trip. They're half their teams out. They're 1-4 their last 5 games, straight up and against the spread. Steph Curry's in a huge slump, 34% in January. It's just this game makes absolutely no sense. Bulls coming off a kind of an ugly game that got away from them against the Nets. 88% of the money's already on the Bulls. I can only see it getting higher. And actually, the lines, the over/under is going up as well.
I was going to ask you, what are your thoughts on that?
The Warriors are one of the worst teams over/under. Everybody would think you're going to take the over in a Warriors game because Steph Curry's hitting threes, they're running gun, but they're actually one of the worst teams that go under the over/under on the season. So
do you like anything with that 225 number then?
Again, it makes all the sense in the world to take the under. or to take the over, but it looks like it's an under game. I mean, I think they're taking Draymond Green and Gary Payton are defensive players, but they're looking for, it just seems like it's an over game.
All right, so Jesse is taking the
for the show. I will take the Warriors and the over, but I wouldn't bet money on it.
Okay, so just for show purposes, you're saying
Yes.
Warriors in the points over 225.
Correct.
All right. Do you have anything on player props?
Player props. Well, you gotta look at all the guys from the Bulls, right? Let me pull up and see what the numbers are at right now.
We took a Vooch over 1.5 threes the other night, and I don't think he attempted one. It was just It was I thought that was easy money.
I thought so too. That it was too obvious, I guess.
The Mavs game, I believe, and he didn't step outside the lane. That's when he couldn't hit the rim either. So that was
and then I think in the Pistons game he made like 4 of them.
Yeah, you can't figure him out.
No.
Okay, Steph Curry over under 27.5 points. Like I said, he's in one of the worst shooting slumps of his career, and typically he's been performed pretty poorly in the United Center. I've been to a couple Bulls Warriors games, and Steph Curry's my favorite player in the league, and he's been a big disappointment in the 2 games I've seen him. So, again, everything is pointing towards the fact that nothing makes sense. So I'm going to say over 27.5 for Steph Curry, even though the Bulls should be gunning for him because he's got no help.
Over 27.5. All right, I like that. What do you got? Anything on Bulls? What do you got on Levine or DeMar? Anything?
Levine's over under 24.5. DeRozan the same, 24.5. Again, with all these players, Draymond Green out, Gary Payton out, Klay Thompson out, all good defensive players, you would want to say, well, of course they're going to go over, right?
I think so.
You would think so.
You would think, but the numbers, I don't have the numbers for their average on the season, but they seem a little low to me. And when it seems low, I tend to go under.
All right. So, so Jesse's telling us right now he's taking the Warriors in the point.
It's a huge trap game. The line doesn't make sense. Give me the Warriors and the over. So give me Steph Curry's over 27.5 points and under 24.5 for Levine and DeRozan.
All right, as we wrap up our little Parmesan sprinkle here, you want to talk about Wager Hub 8888?
Yes, free play. Anybody go to Barstars Bets on Twitter, DM me, $25 free play on the Bulls game tonight. Anybody, $100 free play for anybody new to sign up. Again, Barstars Bets, DM me. We'll get you an account set up. $100 free play.
All right, you heard
it.
So,
very generous.
Thanks for jumping on with us. We'll probably see you next week for a little segment with us.
Thanks for having me. I will get my camera sorted out.
Yeah, I guarantee you're somewhere unsavory, doing God knows what at the day show at the lighter. I don't know what you're doing.
Guys, before we kind of got off to a bad start, but what I want to say is what an honor to be on to collaborate with Barstars and the MeatBULLS. It reminds me of back in the early 90s when another great combination joined up, Hulk Hogan and the Macho Man. It's like the mega powers united.
Oh, yeah, that's great. That's great. It does feel a lot like that.
It's just like it. Well, I think that's all we have for today. So, Trevin, Jesse, as we like to say,
that's al dente.
All right. Thanks, guys.